I'm sure you're exhausted, but think of what you've done. You've found work that's important to do, and you found work that's challenging, and work that's deeply rewarding. And that's extraordinary. Not everyone manages to do that. You've also taken the first steps in becoming teachers who are also researchers of thinking. People who wonder what thinking looks like. And people who have a sense of the myriad forms that thinking can take. Now, it may appear to you, perhaps particularly at this time, that being researchers of thinking, in addition to being teachers, adds more work to your day. How will you find the time? How will you find the time, particularly next year when you are in classrooms with more responsibility than as student teachers? It's this question that I want to address in just a few words. So first, let me say that it is true that in your first years as a teacher, you'll have a lot to pay attention to and a huge amount to learn. You may start to neglect your wondering. It may get overwhelmed by what appear to be very clear and certain needs. How to cut the paper so that you can teach the math lesson. How to teach apostrophes. And if you figure that out, please tell me. What I would advise you to do is to write down every day one thing that happens. One grounded note. It doesn't have to be the perfect puzzling moment. It doesn't have to be something that seems deeply special, but it does have to be grounded. So a note in which you write, Joanne participated at Circle, she doesn't usually, is not a grounded note. That's not going to be as interesting to you if you say something like, Joanne told us a story about her new house at Circle. She doesn't usually say anything. Even if you have little time to think about it, one note will still be recorded. And recording makes a difference. I'm not sure why, but writing it down makes a difference. Even if you forget about some of these notes you write, you won't forget about them all. And your intimacy with the thought of your children, your students, will grow. And that intimacy is what keeps you amazed, what feeds the wonder. So I beg you to do this next year, as tired and busy as you'll be. But the other thing I want to say about time and energy and teacher research or inquiry is sort of a contradiction. Teacher research gives you energy and makes time. Or maybe a different way to say it is the funny, profound, and surprising things that kids do when they're engaged with the intellectual world and when they're engaged with the practical world. Those things give you energy and stop time. Keep track of the moments when time stops. It'll give you back your energy and keep you connected with the moments when children are engaged with the world in both practical and intellectual ways, and expand your sense of what that means, what those ways could be.